I had everything I ever wanted, and I was still miserable. I want you guys to imagine if you got everything, every single thing that you ever wanted in life, whether that be money, success, a relationship with a beautiful girl. Think about all of the things that you want or that you think that you want. Imagine yourself getting those things and still feeling empty inside. That is the most depressing feeling that you can ever experience in your life. And I am speaking from experience. You see, I've been through depression before, multiple times. It's something that I've struggled with for the better part of 3 or 4 years now. But nothing is worse than the feeling of getting everything that you want and still not being content, still not being okay with where you are and who you are. That is the worst feeling that you will ever feel. Now, this feeling that I'm talking about is a feeling that I experienced myself earlier this year. Okay, for those of you who haven't been following my channel for this year, this was my biggest growth year. I got in my first relationship. I basically more than quadrupled my sub count on YouTube. And I received way more money than I've ever received in my life. Okay, this year from YouTube, I probably made more than all of my previous jobs ever made me combined. Okay, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not rich or anything, don't get me wrong, but I made a lot of progress in pretty much every aspect of my life, and I was still miserable. Now, I'm just gonna break it down just aspect by aspect in terms of the things that I accomplished this year and how it did not bring me the sense of satisfaction that I thought it would bring me, starting with my relationship. Now, I got into a relationship, my very first relationship actually, January 14th of this year, 2021. This was my first girlfriend. This was the girl that I lost my V card to. And it was great. Honestly, everything about the relationship was great. But I remember, man, growing up, I always wanted a relationship. I always thought that finding a relationship, finding the perfect partner would bring me that sense of satisfaction that I refused to give myself, that love, that validation that I refused to give myself. Now, don't get me wrong, I had some degree, at least some degree of awareness that I was worthy of a relationship, which is how I got into the relationship, but I don't think I was all the way there yet. In that relationship, I still felt like me. I never felt like my ex completed me. I never felt like she filled that void that I had because only I could fill it. But I was too stubborn to realize this. It took me getting into a relationship to realize that nobody can fill that void except for you. You have to fill that void within yourself. And a lot of people, man, they reach out to me telling me that they want a relationship. They want to find that level of emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, spiritual intimacy. They want to feel connected with that one person, with their special somebody. And I'm right there in that same boat with you. I think we all want that. I think that deep down, everybody craves connection. Everybody craves understanding. Everybody craves appreciation. We all desire those feelings, but at the same time, we have to learn to give those feelings to ourselves first and foremost. Because what I realized is that if you don't love yourself, you won't be willing to receive love from your partner. See, I remember when I was in my relationship, and I'm being a lot more open about this now. I never would have said this back when I was in the relationship, because obviously it probably would have been the end of the relationship. But there were times when I felt like I wasn't getting anything out of it. I genuinely felt like I wasn't getting anything out of the relationship. Now, in retrospect, that was all my fault. My partner was giving me everything that she was supposed to give me. She was giving me emotional and moral support. She was there for me in times of distress. And she gave me that appreciation, that understanding, that acknowledgement that I desired, that I craved for the better part of the first 20 years of my life. But I wasn't willing to receive it. I wasn't willing to receive that love that she wanted to give me because, truth be told, I didn't love myself. I was looking to external things. My self-perception was too reliant on things outside of me, right? And it sounds twisted. Your self-perception being contingent upon external circumstances, how many subscribers you have, how much money you're making, how you look, things like that. It sounds twisted, it sounds convoluted, but it was my truth. It's the truth that I lived in at that point in my life, especially when I started to see more success from YouTube. Now, speaking of success on YouTube, that was another thing that I thought would bring me fulfillment that didn't. It didn't bring me the sense of fulfillment that I thought it would. And it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to think about because it makes you question everything that you're doing in your life. Why am I working so hard to obtain this arbitrary goal to reach this certain number of subscribers if it's not going to make me feel fulfilled? And that's a question that, I think some people don't ever ask themselves, and maybe that's how they're able to keep going. They persist through that emptiness because they feel like that feeling that they want, it's always just out of reach. And they feel like if they just keep pushing, they'll be able to get it, but they'll never catch it. You'll never catch it because you're placing your happiness outside of yourself. And that's something that I always try to tell smaller YouTubers, but I think a lot of people just have to learn this lesson on their own. I know I was one of those people. I had to realize that, it doesn't matter whether you're getting 1 subscriber a month or 10,000 subscribers a month. If you're not content and satisfied, or maybe not satisfied, but appreciative, grateful for where you are on your journey, you'll never be happy. Your happiness is contingent upon you. True happiness is contingent upon you, not your subscriber count. Okay, there came a point when I was getting 10 to 15, even 20,000 subscribers in a month. And with that came a lot more money, which I'll get into in a second. But to receive all of this channel growth and still feel empty, still feel unfulfilled, still have the same mindset and self-perception that I did when I had 500 subscribers, that was alarming. It was a very alarming and depressing feeling, especially in conjunction with my relationship, which was unfulfilling. Which, like I said, both of those were on me for not being grateful for where I was, for not appreciating myself. See, true fulfillment comes from within, and I'm going to get into that in a second as well, but first I want to talk about the money. Now, money is probably, next to relationships, the biggest source of fulfillment outside of yourself that most people look to, right? A lot of people think that all of their problems will be solved if they have more money. What I learned is that money can only fix the problems that it creates. Okay, now what do I mean by that? If you feel depressed, if you got your heart broken, and you think that money is just going to fix that for you, money is going to heal you, you're in for a rude awakening. And I'm trying to save you some time. I'm trying to save you some time, man. You need to take some time to heal. You don't need to be out here trying to get as much money as you can so that you can one up your ex or the person that rejected you or anybody who you feel wronged you in the past. You need to be focused on finding inner wealth, right? Which is a healthy self-perception. Now me, I didn't have that mindset. Okay, I'm really talking to myself. This is a video to Jordan from July of 2021. He needs to hear this message more than anyone. And if you go back and watch those videos, if you look closely, you look into his eyes, you can see it. You can see the emptiness because he was scared. He was scared, and as a knee-jerk response, he just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to force his way into happiness, when in reality, all he had to do was let go. You see, if you chase happiness, ironically, you're actually running from it. All you have to do is stop chasing, and it'll catch you. But, like I said, I had to learn that lesson the hard way. Now, as far as money goes, okay, on the topic of money, money will not bring you true fulfillment. I'm going to repeat that. Money will not bring you true fulfillment. Why is that? It's easy to say that when you're making, like I said, I'm not rich. Okay, I'm not going to say exactly how much I make, but if you watch all of my videos, then you can put the pieces together. Basically, in the month of May, my income tripled. it tripled. Okay, and ever since then, it's still been up like that. So if you watch all of my videos, you do the math yourself. But just know that the money that I was making, especially living with my parents, it made me feel like I was rich. Okay, even though I wasn't rich, I felt like I was rich. And I got a stimulus check and a tax return on top of that. I was balling. Okay, I was balling. I was able to stack up a lot of money very quickly. This is the reason why I'm able to move out, is because of all of that new money that I was seeing. And growing up, I was always somebody that placed a lot of value into money, right? And money does hold value as a resource, not as a means of defining your worth in the grand scheme of existence. That's where a lot of people mess up. They assign too much value to money, to currency. Money is meant to be a resource and nothing else. Okay, it's literally a resource that allows you to reinvest in yourself and to get nice things and have nice experiences. That's it. But money on its own is worthless. But so many of us place all of this value into it and chase it. We chase the bag. Yeah, we need to get to the bag. No, you need to get to your inner peace. That's what you need to be chasing. But like I said, the only way to catch your inner peace is to stop running from it.